Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Thursday, May the 26th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only Josh Crash Davis. Crash, how are you on this wonderful Thursday?
Doing well, Coach. Doing well. Had a nice day off yesterday and ready to get back into it.
Very nice. Yep, me too. I'm stoked up. We've got some dogs barking in the background already. Man, everybody's up and ready to go today.
Yep.
But I appreciate you wearing the gold shirt. The reverse jinx for the gold shirt worked last time. Dallas was able to get a victory, so I appreciate that continuing.
Yeah.
And then, but first we're going to talk about baseball. So those that are tuning in for the combo show, NBA and MLB, you've got that here. We do it exclusively here at Coach Talk, and we're going to go through the baseball schedule. It's a little tricky today with some of the weather and some of the things going on, but we will break that down for you. I'd like to thank our presenting sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. If you go to prizepicks.com, use that promo code CoachTalk. They will match you dollar for dollar all the way up to $100 on that first deposit. Make sure to use that promo code CoachTalk. All right, in the MLB, it's interesting. We have one early game that stands alone. We're not going to mess with that one. And then we've got a little difference on the two slates. Do you want to explain? They're counting the 6:40 p.m. game on one of our sites, and the other two are not. So why don't you go over that real quickly if you can?
Yeah, so on Draftkings and Yahoo, they do not have the 6:40 Eastern game, which is the Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays. On FanDuel, they do have it. So it's a 10-game slate on FanDuel and a 9-game slate on DraftKings and Yahoo. On FanDuel, the slate starts at 6:40 Eastern. On DraftKings and Yahoo, it'll start at 7:05 Eastern.
Excellent. And we will be providing, as we always do, for all three sites, FanDuel, DraftKings, and Yahoo, and also PrizePicks. We'll give a few of those today, and then we'll add those in as the day goes for MLB in Discord. One game we're not going to count much on at all here. The game that looks really in trouble is Philadelphia to Atlanta, which is a shame because it was Nola versus Wright. Or did Wright get hurt? I read something.
I think it was Kyle Wright.
Yeah, and I know that game was really, highly thought of, a lot of good bats in it too, but it's looking pretty dim. I mean, looking at the radar, it looked like rain washout city. So we're not going to count much on that game, but the rest of them look like they're promising. We may get some rain on and off in St. Louis and some in Detroit. Those are the two that we'll watch throughout the day. Certainly and update everybody because that is such a key aspect.
For sure.
Of course, with pitching and everything else included. So, all right, as if you're new to watching our baseball pod, we're going to go over our pitching selections. We're going to go over BVP, HR call, stacks. We're going to hit a little bit of everything, and then obviously finish up with some PrizePicks plays. So. It was a fun day yesterday. Had some really solid performances in MLB, some great cashes, a couple chances to have massive takedowns if we could have got a little something out of Mr. Trout. But he didn't quite took the big goose yesterday. But other than that, though, I mean, we're still on a hot streak in baseball. There's no question about it. Basketball's a little tougher. These showdown slates have been tricky on us, but let's start off with baseball, and let's start off, of course, with our buy-up pitcher of the day. What do you have, Crash?
So I really don't believe that I'm going to tell you this, but
Uh-oh.
with Eric Lauer pitching against St. Louis, who has the lowest strikeout rate in baseball, Nestor Cortez is pitching at Tampa. They've been playing better lately. They're not on the DraftKings and Yahoo sites, so not going to go there. My top pay-up option is actually going to be Martin Perez. He's been pitching really well this year. He's allowed one runner less in 6 straight starts. He's going up against Oakland. They have the 5th highest strikeout rate. He faced him earlier this year. He had 6 shutout innings with 5 strikeouts for 37 fantasy points. And then last week at Houston, he had a complete game shutout with 5 strikeouts for 52 fantasy points. So I'm not chasing that complete game shutout. He's had solid numbers for the last month and a half, so I feel like I can trust that. And with the matchup against Oakland, they struggle to score runs. They struggle with strikeouts. They chase a lot. So I just like, based on what we've been given, Martin Perez more than the other people on this slate for the most part.
Well, I'll tell you this, and honestly, this is, to me, is the toughest pitching slate that we've had to break down all season.
Yeah,
I mean, there are so many. What's that?
It really is, because I took the majority of my time building my lineups on selecting which pitcher. It took a lot of time to find someone that I liked.
I'm with you, man. I kept eliminating, going back, and then saying, do I really want to go with this guy?
Yeah.
But it's funny because my value pitcher of the day is Martin Perez.
Okay.
Again, another thing I thought I would never say either, but
right.
He's pitching well. Oakland's not good. Temperatures in the 50s in Oakland tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? And this is why on the other side of the ball, Frankie Montas is my pay up pitcher.
Yeah.
So I've got both pitchers from the same game, which, hey, I do that and it works a lot. If you really like both pitchers and neither team's hitting the ball that well, which Texas and Oakland are not, there's no reason you can't come out of there with a 1-0 or 2-1 game and get plenty of points, fantasy points out of both of them. But, Montas in this situation, he strikes guys out. There's no question. In that last game, he got hit in the hand, only had to leave the game, but he's fine. He's pitching. They don't expect any limitations. The game before that, people forget, in 6 innings, he struck out 12.
Yeah.
So he's put together a 52, a 43, a 44, a 40, another 44. So, he's no lock. In the midst of those games, he had a 19 and an 18. So I just think strikeout side alone and the fact that Texas has really not put it together. Oakland's a tough place to hit, and they have such huge foul ground there. There's so many extra pop outs and everything else. So I'm going all in pitching wise in this game and hoping we get just one of those, games tonight late where I'll be watching Oakland, Texas, dozing off because it's so boring is what I'm hoping.
Yeah, no, I understand that. So for me, my value pitcher is actually Frankie Montas. So it's funny. We have the reverse.
We have the same two pit. We've never had that happen before.
No, we never had that happen before, which it would make sense on a crazy slate like this. But, I just was, looking more at the FanDuel pricing. He's 8,800 on FanDuel, and Martin Perez is 9,700 over there. So,
and I was, on DraftKings where I was looking, Montas is 9,000 and Perez is 8,300. So
exactly.
It's
so
funny.
I don't have to elaborate too much on the Frankie Montas play after what you said. Texas does have the 5th highest strikeout rate in their last 3 games at 28.3, and they've only scored 2 runs per game prior to last night. Of course, I think they had 7 against the Angels, but I think that they'll regress a little bit against Montas, and so I like him.
That is amazing that we have the same 2 guys and they're pitching against each other.
Right. Exactly.
But wait till you try to build lineups tonight with these pitchers.
I know.
There's going to be some blow up pitchers on this slate, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. All right, outstanding. All right, how about we go? Where do you want to go? I'll let you choose. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to go with the fade pitcher, but I had Aaron Nola, so that's probably going to be eliminated automatically. So I don't really know. I don't really know who I would consider to be a fade at that point.
Fade them all, right?
Yeah. It's just a really tough slate. It really is with pitching.
It is.
I'm trying to remember who else.
I'll give you a guy to fade.
Yeah.
I don't like Tariq Skubal in this matchup today.
I was just about to say Tariq Skubal because he's way up there in price, and Cleveland has been striking out at the lowest rate over the
They're
last.
dead last.
Yeah.
Yeah. They only have 297 strikeouts. Atlanta has 431.
Yeah.
So it goes to show you how they are really barreling the ball up and making contact. And I think Skubal, everybody likes Skubal anyway.
Mhm.
Everybody thinks he can strike everybody out. And I think he's going to be over, people are going to look for a pitcher, and he's going to be the guy tons of people land on.
Yeah.
And man, I would love this to be one of those games where he just gets lit up a little bit,
That would be really nice. I think
I'm even thinking of stacking against him.
Yeah.
But here's the scary part with that one. That's one of the games we're a little worried about rain.
With the weather, okay.
And so that's another reason not to take Skubal for me. If there's a delay or whatever, that could screw him out of innings. So
yeah, it could hurt his ownership too. So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah. So that's where I would go there. And I think that's going to be a really, really popular guy today.
Yeah.
All right, man. What do you got next?
Depends on the weather. That's going to make a big difference. If it looks like it's going to be bad weather, he won't get the ownership that we would expect. But if he gets the clear, then yeah, I would definitely think he'll get a lot of ownership.
Definitely.
Let's go with the BVP play.
Okay.
I've got George Springer. He's 3,600 on FanDuel, 5,400 on DraftKings. He's 444 with 4 hits and 9 at-bats against Ohtani, including a home run. I had Austin Riley, but as we mentioned, that's going to probably get rained out. So I had to make a pivot here at the last minute.
Yep, I don't blame you. I'm going with AJ Pollock from the White Sox against Michael Wacha. He's batting a cool 455 against him, a homer, 5 ribbies. He's walked 3 times, and probably be batting like in that 3 hole somewhere around there. Just think it's a good matchup for him. And he's the kind of guy that can pop some power in there and get it done for you. So his price is right as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I like that.
All right. What do you got? I'm letting you run the show today, man.
Okay. We're going to stacks.
Stack City.
I like Boston against Dallas Keuchel. They've been the best offense in baseball this week. Prior to last night when Giolito gave them some trouble, they were averaging 10 runs per game. So before that, Trevor Story, Xander Bogaerts, Rafael Devers, JD Martinez, Kiki Hernandez, all have had some success against Keuchel. So I like the Boston stack. I'm sure the Dodgers are going to get a lot of ownership against Humberto Castellanos.
Oh, big time.
And then Colorado against Patrick Corbin. They have 6 bats that have hit 300 plus against him. Yeah. So I like them as well.
Yeah, I'm just, we're going to have to let it dictate based on, how the ownership is. Dodgers could be ridiculously owned here. So, maybe just from a leverage point, again, Mike S. shout out. That's our good luck charm every time we talk about leverage. But, I'm with you. I think Colorado is sneaky here. Their guys are pretty cheap. And Corbin's just so wheels off bad right now. It's tough to watch. But you could stack up 3-4 of these guys and still have big money for one-offs in other spots, whether it be the Yankees on the slate that includes them, but they're going against Yarbrough. That's no cup of tea either.
Right.
So, but, it gives you money for those Dodgers bats. I like a few one-offs that are super expensive today, like Jose Ramirez. I think gives you a chance to go after him. I hate to say it, but even a guy like Goldschmidt or Arenado against Lauer could really be dangerous. So
yeah,
I like when you can stack a team like Colorado and not have to just take cheap guys the rest of the way. Whereas if you decide you want Betts, Freeman, Turner, Smith kind of thing, you're looking for scraps after that. So that's the decision to make. But Colorado's the one stack I'd give out. Dodgers are the obvious one.
I agree.
Yep.
All right, HR call.
HR call. Boy, we've been so hot on our HR call. Knock
I was
on
about to say,
wood, whatever.
Joey Votto, man. He had
How
an
about
awesome
that,
game
man?
yesterday against Kyle Hendricks. That
I
was
was so
awesome.
happy about that.
Yeah.
And I also had Francisco Lindor. I don't know. One of them was BVP. One of them.
Yeah, well,
All my guys hit.
Yeah,
So,
Lindor was your BVP call, which he hit a home run, and
yeah.
then Votto was your HR call, which he hit a home run. So,
you know what? I'll take it.
yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'll take it and run. And I want another one tonight.
And I was off yesterday, but mine was going to be I forgot, but he hit a home run. I don't remember who it was though. It was Riley. That was
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been on him lately, so I can see that.
Yeah.
So what do you think, HR call? What do you got?
I'm going to go with George Springer. I had Marcelo Zuna, but like we said, that game's probably not going to play.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Springer against Ohtani. I like him to hit a home run tonight.
Very nice. I'm going with CJ Crone. He's going to be in the middle of my build, little mini stack with Colorado. He's hit Corbin in the past. I think he's going to be my home run call for tonight.
I like it, Coach. We'll go to the prize picks.
Yes, and I'm going to update my prize picks now because that's one thing. If you're playing them, hit that refresh button as much as you can because that is where you're going to get guys added in late, some of the numbers changing. And also great spot to say, listen, if you want additional prize picks plays other than the ones we give here, and I don't know if you noticed my prize picks last night, but I'm very thankful. I'm usually pretty humble about stuff, but when you go 5 for 6, you got to feel pretty frosty about that. So excited about how we've been doing there. We do give out additional prize picks plays when we release our lineups 30 minutes before lock. And to be a part of what we're doing, just go to dfscoachtalk.com. You can sign up for as little as a 3-day pass. If you sign up today, you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You get all of our baseball action, all of our basketball action, and you are going to get our PGA action, which started today, and we do a weekend-only lineup on Friday nights. So join that. All right, man. What do you have for your first prize picks play?
I'm doing what you were talking about. I'm checking the board to see. So far, I don't see anything that I'll change. Yeah, I'm gonna go with what I had. So what I have is Martin Perez over 18 pitching outs. He's gotten at least 18 in 6 straight games. So hopefully he can get a little bit more than the 6 innings, but he should at least match that number if he doesn't go over it.
I like it. I am going to go with Patrick Corbin under 24.5 fantasy score. As I said, I think Colorado is going to smack him around a bit today.
I like that. I'm going to go with George Springer over 6 fantasy score. I think he can definitely get there. As I mentioned, he's 444 with 4 hits and 9 at-bats, including a home run against Ohtani. So I definitely think he can get over 6.
Nice. I am going with my HR guy, CJ Crone, over 8.5 fantasy score. It's funny because, we've been talking about usually just the big dogs, like, Judge and Stan, and those guys get that big fat 8.5 number. So looks like Vegas and Prize Picks is on Crone with me because 8.5, but I'm not going to let that scare me. I'm still going to take the over. And I think he can get there.
It's funny you say that because I've got an 8.5 fantasy score guy as well. It's Trey Turner. Trey Turner has gone over that number in 5 of his last 6 games. So I like the over here at 8.5 against Castellanos.
I love playing Trey Turner on overs on here because he can get it any way. 9 billion different directions. All right, awesome. I think that is it for the baseball segment. Anything else MLB wise you want to throw in there before we flip the switch?
No. So you had 2, right? I didn't miss anything. You had 2 PrizePicks plays?
Correct.
Okay.
Do you have another one? You're welcome to
No,
throw it in there.
I had 3. I given out 3, but no, that's
Oh,
fine.
yeah, I only have 2. I'll release some more.
Yeah.
I wanted to see a little bit on a couple of those weather games. So
Yeah, I don't really have anything else for baseball. Just as always, we'll have to watch the weather and let our members know the latest on that. But that's it.
excellent. All right. Well, again, if you're watching for the baseball side of things and you don't want to play that NBA game tonight, this is where we could say have a great day for your rest of your day. If you're going to stick with us and want to check both out or playing multiple sports, we're going to transition over to that side of the board. And for our NBA podcast, it is presented today by BetUS. Go to betus.com.pa. Sign up for the first time for as little as $79 or more, and use the promo code Coach Talk, all one word, and you get a full free month of DFS Coach Talk. That's a $75 value in itself. So take advantage of that. Love BetUS. They do some great things, and they offer just about everything you can think of that you want to play. So big night tonight. Dallas avoided the sweep, so very proud of that effort. So it's 3-1 Golden State. Crash has the reverse jinx gold shirt on, so we have a legit shot. And certainly going to be all the pressure to me is on Golden State to close this off at home. I feel like Dallas comes in with a free roll here, relaxed, and hopefully they can go there and play tough. Vegas thinks it might be a little lopsided, which is understandable. I see that completely. It makes sense. But as of right now, the way Vegas has this game tonight, it is Golden State by 7. It's a 215.5 total, 104.25 implied for Dallas, and 111.25 for Golden State. As far as injuries, only one question mark that we have to follow today, which is so refreshing after this Boston-Miami insanity.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And it's just incredible. So for Dallas, we know Hardaway, he hasn't played at all. So Dallas is all in. They're ready to go. We already know Iguodala and Peyton are out for Golden State. The only guy we have to follow the news on is Otto Porter Jr. And it matters because he's a minutes guy off the bench for them, and it shifts things. So that's important news on a showdown slate. A guy that, could easily get 25 minutes. We need that news. So we're going to follow that closely. So what is your initial thought on the Dallas Mavericks? And we start where we always start every one of these breakdowns with the Mavericks. Do you just auto plug in Luka, or do you feel any different today?
It's funny because he had, he didn't have that 40-point game or whatever, but he actually had his best fantasy game of the series. 30 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks for 70.5 DraftKings points.
That's
so
sweet.
I can't fade that. I mean, there's just no way. And on top of that, the pricing for DraftKings has somehow softened. Did you notice that?
I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me.
Luka came down almost $3,000 in the captain spot.
How is that for sure?
Yeah. Yeah, he's 18.9 in the captain spot now. He was 21.6 before.
I mean, somebody, what really stinks is that's going to create ridiculous chalk.
That's probably why they did it. Yeah.
So is it like everybody in the world's going to just plug him in the captain spot and nobody else cares? I mean, I don't know how you can't at that price.
Right. Yeah. I mean, unless it's a GPP large, 150 max, something like that, I would just plug Luke in at the captain spot and build around that.
I mean, we don't even have to really go into it. I mean, he's the highest usage guy on the planet. Congratulations to him just being named first team NBA. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Third year in a row, and he's only 23 years old. That's nuts.
Yeah.
But
so
I mean,
there's no way that you can fade him.
No.
Then you have to choose, in my opinion, between either Brunson or Dinwiddie. Finney Smith, Bullock, which of those guys do you feel the best about? Because we've seen all of them have good games, but usually not on the same night.
Well, I mean, this sounds like a recording from some of the last podcasts, but I mean, it is what it is. Bullock and Finney Smith have been the safest to me because I know they're going to get like 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And, minutes do equal money a lot of times because rebounds fly your way, assists, open shots, maybe a steal. So, I mean, you got to look at those things. But the tough part is, they're not always super effective in that time. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Bullock, at least, he stepped up, went 6 for 10 from 3. But if he's hitting his threes, he's worth it. If he's not, he's a disaster because, he'll get you a few stocks, but he doesn't do much of anything else.
Yeah,
so,
18 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists.
That's not very great. But so those two I would start with just because of the minutes. And then, if you're going to really go all in on Dallas making this a game, I mean, Brunson, he's going to get shots up. He only got 12 up, which was surprising, but he's generally going to get more than that, and he's going to get other stats. So I think Brunson is definitely the second best play to Luka, but can you afford him is the problem.
It all comes down to whether or not you're going to be using, Wiggins or Clay or Jordan Poole, one of those guys, because they're all priced around the same price. So,
exactly. And, I don't think as much, Kleba did make 5 of 6 from the field and had 8 rebounds. So he came through for me. He was my last guy in for like the millionth time because he's so darn cheap. Only got 22 minutes this time, which was a little concerning. They went with Frankie Ntilikina for 17, which don't play him.
He made the most shots of his career in that one game.
I know it. He did. He made a 3, and I almost fell on the floor. But I wouldn't touch Ntilikina, Bertans, or Green. I mean, you just can't.
Yeah.
But they went small a little bit too, and had Dinwiddie out there with with Brunson and Luka, which that makes me think Dinwiddie's a little bit better play. He got almost 28 minutes. He was only 2 for 7 though, Crash.
Yeah,
but he did have 8 assists.
Yeah, playoff high 8 assists.
So. Yeah. So for me, it's very simple. You got Luka. If you want to spend more and have less on the Golden State side, you can go Brunson as a second running mate. Or if you want 1 or 2 guys that are a little bit cheaper that make sense, you have 4 choices, in my opinion. Bullock and Finney Smith, which are safer on the minutes, and Kleba and Dinwiddie, especially Dinwiddie, are a little bit higher ceiling but lower floor. So it's a risk-reward type of build on the Dallas side, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that, Luka and Brunson are probably the safest. And then you've got some, like we kind of said the other day, just kind of throw it in a blender and see what comes out, kind of plays the rest of the way. So it's tough. It's real tough.
It is very tough. Now you've got a Golden State team who, we talked about this before the podcast, and I'm telling you, it happens every time. They let up. They did not look like they had the pedal to the metal, and it didn't even seem like Kerr cared that much. He played his bench a ton. And I know that, it got out of hand at the end, but I still was very surprised that how much the bench minutes were. So let me give you this just to give you a snapshot, because it makes a lot of, a big decision here. We don't know if Otto Porter is going to play or not. He didn't play the last game, but you got 30 from Wiggins, only 25 from Green, 19 from Looney, 28 minutes from Clay, 32 for Steph, 28 for Poole, 21 for Kuminga, 22 for Moody, 15 for Lee, and 15 from Bjelica. So what do you think here? Was it them saying we're up 3-0, we're not going to blow our guys out here, or what?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. The game, it started out kind of, in their favor. They had a lead early, and then it just kind of all fell apart. It seemed like, really, especially after halftime, things really kind of caved in. No pun intended with what happened with the roof, but
yeah, really, a rain delay.
yeah, exactly. But that, that third quarter, it really kind of got away from them. And then Kerr was just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to rest my guys. And then the bench guys came in and they made it interesting. So it was a very different game.
It was weird. But I guess my point is, are you believing these bench minutes at all, or are you going to just disregard them?
No, I mean, I don't expect their bench guys to play, extra minutes or whatever in this game like they did in the last game. I think that Moody, has kind of been a key play with Porter out. So he's one guy you can consider. But I think that Steph and Looney and Draymond and Clay and Wiggins, I mean, and Poole, those are the core guys. So I expect them to get the majority of the minutes again.
All right, now, last guy in kind of value, would it be Moody for you? Or Kuminga did look good in stretches too.
Yeah, Kuminga did look good. It seems like Moody's getting those minutes, but maybe that changes in this game. I'm not sure.
I mean, it seems like those are the two, in my opinion, that you got.
Yeah, it would be one of those two. Yeah.
Right.
Now, if Porter's ruled in, then we get that, we don't have to worry about it.
Then forget about it. Yeah.
We just go with Porter. But
right.
Yeah, if Porter sits, then I would go Moody 1, Kuminga 2. Yeah, that's what I would do.
You know what I'm frustrated about is I keep chasing Klay Thompson getting 20 or 25 shots up. He only got 10 up again.
Yeah, so you got to wait for game 6, Coach.
Yeah, so Dallas needs to win this one, and then I can finally play Klay in game 6, huh?
Yeah.
But I don't know what to do with Klay. I know the first time I sit him, Crash, he's going to go bonkers. I know I've seen it too many times, but where are you looking here? Are you going to pay up for Curry as the second guy to Luka like you've been doing, or are you going to try to make it work elsewhere?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to Curry. He only had 20 points in game 4 after having 30 in back-to-back games in games 2 and 3. I think he has around a 30-point night tonight. And I think that he has the highest ceiling of anyone on their team. So I don't want to fade that. Wiggins, he was kind of due for some regression. So I wouldn't be surprised if that continues a little bit. And I just don't trust Klay if he's only getting up, 10 shots or whatever. So
yeah, it's not going to fly.
Yeah. And then Looney, I think he'll play better being back at home. Role players usually do. And his price actually dropped $1,500 on FanDuel. So that's a nice little play there at 11,000 for him.
Yeah. I mean, it's tricky. It is very, very tricky. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, on some sites you can make Luka and Curry work, and on some it's much more difficult, on DraftKings particularly. So I'm not sure. I still think when everything's equal, and people are going to forget because this last game, they didn't pound the ball inside. They didn't crush Dallas rebounding like they've been doing. They've actually, Dallas won rebounding 45-42, which they've been getting killed on the glass. So I'm still, wanting to include Green and Looney, or one of them at least, if not both. I still think that's the Achilles heel, and I think that's where they can go. Dallas is going to continue to guard the 3-point line.
Right.
And, I think those two guys are the beneficiaries. My only concern right now is I'm going to try to catch as much coach speak as I can and beat writer stuff. We're probably not going to get any skinny from Kerr on this, but, I just wonder if Kuminga and Moody play a little bit bigger role, both of them. Because it just, those are the kind of players that give Dallas trouble, because they're big enough to get inside, but yet they can run the floor. So I'm going to try that theme of maybe going with a Green or Looney, and then the value playing play of Kuminga or Moody, I think is a nice combination if we can pick the right one on both sides of that.
Yeah.
So that leaves the pay up guys of, Wiggins, Thompson, Curry, and Poole, and the decision where to go there. And, that's not an easy one either.
No.
Poole definitely, I think, plays better at home because he feeds off the crowd. He's a real emotional player. And I think he's a nice play. And it always, I think, hurts him a little bit on ownership because he's coming off the bench. But, somebody I would go to in a heartbeat here, my biggest question is, do I make it work and try to get Curry in there? Or do I do what I've been doing, which hasn't exactly paid off, and gone to Clay, expecting him to have a big breakout game? I'm with you on Wiggins. Yes, he's playing the best probably of his career, but I don't know. I think he's getting too much ownership and his price is up now.
Yeah.
So I think I'd rather go with the true Splash Brothers in Curry and or Thompson to close out the Mavs here. And I do think Dallas is up against it. I mean, I'll have to say, I don't think they're going to lay down and get blown out, but I
don't either.
do think Golden State's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, it would be between Clay and Poole for me. Poole's a little bit cheaper, so I like that. So it's just going to come down to what my lineup looks like once I have the rest of it in place, whether I have money, for Clay or if I have to spend down a little bit for Poole.
I'm with you, man. All right. It's a tough one. There's no doubt. It's not an easy showdown slate by any stretch of the imagination. All right, let's get a couple prize picks plays in here.
Okay.
And, as we're switching to prize picks, if you're watching right now on YouTube, take a second. I'll give you I'll kill time here so you can do it. Hit that thumbs up button because that moves us up the algorithm on YouTube. We're trying to get up there with some of the big boys. We really appreciate it. And we bring this podcast to you in front of the paywall 7 days a week for the NBA and MLB, and then our weekly PGA show as well. We've got tons of big news coming, some new partnerships, some giveaways. We have a big contest for the NBA Finals coming up. So definitely check us out, dfscoachtalk.com. You can check us out on Twitter at dfscoachtalk. Crash is at jpdavis1982. I am at Joe Sarvati. And again, on YouTube here, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, click the little alert so you know when any of those podcasts post. We're on there live a lot of the time for the premieres to answer questions. And we only have 5 days left in our competition for, if you listen audio-wise through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, any of our landing spots, take a second to give us a 5-star or top rating and make a quick comment. 3, 4 words, 5 words, whatever. Our man Colin will go through that here in less than a week, and somebody will win a full week all-access membership to Coach Talk. All right, my friend, your top prize picks play of the day.
I'm going to go with Stephen Curry over 27.5 points. As I mentioned, he was held to 20 in game 4.
Yeah.
I think he scores around 30, 32, somewhere around there tonight. So I like the over at 27.5.
I like it. I'm going to go with Mr. Bad Boy himself, Draymond Green, over PRA 21.5. Just seems a little low because he's going to, he's strong in rebounds and assists. So points added to it with my expectation that Dallas is going to be a little soft in the middle there. I think Draymond can get there for PRA over 21.5.
Okay. I have a similar play for a similar reason. I've got Kevon Looney over 7.5 points. Went over that number in each of the first 3 games of this series. And, role players, like I mentioned, they usually play better at home. So I think he'll get over the 7.5 point total.
Gotcha. Mine's sort of weird, but I like these. I love playing these 0.5 props. It just, they're fun. I'm going Reggie Bullock over a half of turnover. So because I think he's going to play close to 40 minutes, he throws one ball away, then you got a winner. So plus over 0.5 turnovers for Reggie Bullock.
Okay.
That is it, my friend.
That's
Any
it.
other basketball wizardry here you want to share with our peoples?
No, not that I can think of.
That's it.
Boston looked like the team I expected them to look like. I will say that. I picked them to win it in 5 or 6, and I think they're going to win it in 6. So,
if they're not going to win it in 5, I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, they're not winning it in 5. That's for sure. But
well, I'm hoping upon hope that it is the Mavericks with the first ever comeback down 0-3. But I'm realistically looking and agreeing with you. I mean, if it is a Boston Golden State series, that is a fine matchup. And that's a tight one. It could go either way. So, we'll see. It's neither team's dead yet. So we're still going to keep fighting.
Yeah.
But hopefully this gave you a good feel for what's on the docket today. We got it done fairly quickly so you can catch up on all the baseball and basketball information. And, very important to stay in touch with us in Discord throughout the day and on Twitter because we're going to be watching the weather in some of these baseball games. And then we need the news on Otto Porter for Golden State to see what that rotation will look like. So those will be very important to finishing out our lineup. So definitely come and get us. We have been locked in on our plays of the day and our prize picks, our home run BVP calls have been solid. So let's continue that. And hopefully that helps you win. Also, if you have some wins, post them, give us some info, give us a shout out on Twitter at DFS Coach Talk, or you can give us a shout out here in YouTube even. We'd be happy to take that. So, all right, fantastic, man. Wonderful here Thursday. Getting ready for another fun weekend coming up, but we've got some great games throughout the day. Catch a little bit of golf here at the Byron Nelson. That'll be fun. And then we'll be back tomorrow. So I'll be back with Crash tomorrow for baseball. And then we'll do a separate podcast. I'll be with Deb again for basketball. So we'll break up the duo pods for tomorrow. Yep. So have a great one today, and hope all your lineups are winning ones. And we'll be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in MLB and NBA DFS and prize picks.